So I want to show you how to make an extra $5,000 per client, even if you don't have a place to meet your clients. How many of you guys have a studio? Okay, a few of you. A lot of you are working out of your home, I assume, maybe a co-working space, something like that. Awesome. So basically, there are two ways to sell prints. There are the gallery options. Raise your hand if you're a gallery giver. No judgment. Okay. Or there's like an in-person experience, right? And I asked a few of you guys to raise your hand if you were doing in-person. How many of you are doing solely in-person sales? Like that's all you do. Wow. Okay, cool. You're in the right place. Now here's the thing, you guys. A gallery has the benefits of being convenient. It's quick. It's easy. Right? That's probably why we do it. Because the industry became flooded with these new galleries where you could sell prints. It's super easy. You just send it to your clients. They download the digitals. It's great. You can go back to doing all the other things. But the problem with that is that your clients start procrastinating, right? They don't ever actually order prints. Or they only buy a little bit because they're like, oh, I'll buy more later on, right? But they never do. We know that. And it all becomes a big, giant DIY project, right? So you start seeing these prints that are now in scrapbooks and you're like, oh my God, I spent 4 hours editing that epic masterpiece and look what you did to it. In-person has the benefit of being more personalized. We talked a little bit about the fact that that's what our clients are looking for. Personalized, specialized. You have the ability to showcase your expertise, right? You have that quality control. If a print comes in and it's not up to par, you can make it right? You also see bigger orders, more money, right? That's all great, but the problem with that is number one, the time commitment, right? There's a lot of additional time that's required. Number two is the research, right? You have to go out, you have to meet, you have to see the different labs, you have to figure out what they're offering, you have to know the difference between deep matte and luster and framed and matted and acrylic and metal, right? It requires a little bit of research. And then it also might require some travel time, either on your client's part or on your part, and sometimes it's just very difficult to organize schedules, right? But the benefit of in-person sales far outweighs the gallery sales, right? You guys, so these are some of my personal averages. So our photo services start at about $6,500. When I do a gallery, just a gallery, they end up spending like $160 in engagement prints. Anybody else kind of in line with that? Like $100 maybe. And then in their wedding prints, a little bit more. Mom and dad get involved, maybe $200, $300, right? Sound about right? Cool. You guys are nodding your head. So that's about $7,000 for a client average, which is pretty good. Not bad, right? $7,000 as a wedding photographer. But when I do in-person sales, my average client account goes way up. I start seeing $2,800 on average just from engagement prints. They're buying albums. They're buying wall art. They're buying gift prints. They're buying pieces to showcase at the wedding, right? Wedding prints, $4,600. Parent albums, giant epic art displays, right? They're spending more. $13,000, almost $14,000 per client is our average when they're coming in person. So I was thinking to myself, well, I have to figure out a way to make this work. When we do in-person sales, we make over $185,000 a year. So if you're sitting there and you're thinking, yeah, like that would be a nice raise, right? We have to figure out a way to make these work in our business. The problem with the gallery sales, while it might be convenient, is they end up with these shitty Shutterfly books, right? They're downloading their images, or they're taking forever to finalize their album proofs, right? Anybody else, you send out an online album proof and it's like 3 years later, they're posting on Instagram, just got my wedding album, and you're like, no, right? Don't tell anyone it took you 3 years. Or they order 1 8x10 and 4 4x6s, right? That's good. That'll get them by. They keep asking for gallery extensions, right? If you guys put an expiration on your gallery, then they're, oh, I didn't get to it this week. I'm super busy at work. It's like, what? Or they ask, this is my personal favorite, custom crops, retouches, random filter requests, head swaps, body contouring, removing people from the backgrounds, all to make a couple bucks on an 8x10 print, right? Their expectations are super high. It's just not feasible. That's when I figured out I had to find a way to make the in-person experience online. So that way I could benefit from the sales increases of doing in-person sales with the convenience factor of having clients that live in multiple areas and aren't able to make it to my studio. The benefits of virtual sales. Convenience. You do it online in your sweatpants with a glass of wine where no one can see it. Personalized. You get to talk to them. You meet face to face. Specialize, and you can showcase your expertise. You can walk them through the different products. You can talk a little bit about what they're going to get. You can answer any questions they have. It's like an online support chat right there with them, right? You can guide their purchase decisions and eliminate overwhelm. The problem with the online galleries is a lot of clients go there and they're like, yeah, I don't know what color frame I want, or if I want 2-inch matting or 1-inch matting, or what the heck does deep matte mean? They don't know. They're overwhelmed. They shut down and they leave the gallery. That's why you're not selling prints. You have the quality control factor. So you have the opportunity to ship the products to your studio, which I highly encourage you to do. Take photos of them, put them on your Instagram, use it in your marketing, write a little handwritten note, maybe send them a free session for down the road and ship it back out to them. Quality control, elevated experience. And then, of course, bigger orders, more money, right? Those are the benefits. Now, it does not replace in-person sales. There are some downsides. You don't have any control over the environment. So you don't know if their internet's going to be down, or their dog's going to be barking, or their neighbors are going to be knocking on their door, right? That's a downside. We have to work through that. It's not as easy to communicate the value or the quality because you're not putting it in their hands, right? So we have to work through that. It's less emotional because it's like a FaceTime, right? So it's not as personal as in person. And it's not as easy to finalize the order. So it's a lot easier for them to say, okay, I love this. I'm going to get back to you, right? So these are all struggles that we have to work through. And for those of you guys that have tried that, that's what we're going to do today, is show you how we work through those struggles so that you can essentially create an in-person experience virtually. Again, I cannot reiterate enough, a virtual sale is not a replacement for an in-person sale. If you have a studio, if you have the opportunity to meet with your clients in person, I really strongly think you should. I think your sales averages will be much higher, and you'll be able to provide an elevated experience to your clients, but that's not always possible. So for me, we live in upstate New York, but we serve a high-end luxury market. Most of our couples come from New York City or Boston, and they're coming to get married in our town because we live at like the base of the Adirondacks. We're known for horse racing. It's kind of like a destination, like summer town, right? So we service a lot of destination couples. A lot of you guys might be going through the same thing. A lot of your clients do not live locally to you. You don't have the opportunity to meet them in person. And that's why we have to figure out how to make virtual sales